I remember the smell of sawdust and the weight of a hammer. My father taught me that if you build a chair right, it doesn't just hold a person, it holds a family. For 30 years, my hands were my language. I understood the grain of the wood, the temper of the steel, and the patience required to make something last. I was a master of a world I could touch. But the world changed, slowly at first, then all at once. Suddenly, the tools I spent a lifetime mastering were replaced by glowing glass. The ledgers I wrote by hand became invisible data in a cloud I couldn't see. I walked into modern offices and felt like a ghost from another century. The young people moved like shadows, their fingers dancing across keyboards at light speed. They spoke a language of updates, algorithms, and integrations. I wasn't just old-fashioned, I was becoming obsolete. I would look at my reflection in the dark screen of a tablet and wonder if I still had a place in a world that no longer needed my hands. The hardest part wasn't the work, it was the silence at the dinner table. My son, he lives in that new world. He builds things I can't see. He solves problems I don't understand. I wanted to be the hero he looked up to, the one who could fix anything. But how do you fix a glitch in a software you can't even open? I felt a distance growing between us, not because we didn't love each other, but because our languages were different. He saw a future of infinite speed. I saw a past of careful craftsmanship. I struggled to keep up. I stayed up late staring at tutorials that felt like static. I tried to force my old fingers to learn a new rhythm. It was exhausting. Every day felt like a reminder of what I had lost. I began to believe that the values I raised my children with, patience, focus, and hard work, were just old-school relics that had no value in a digital age. I felt like I had nothing left to give. Then came the evening the power went out. Not the electricity, but the system. My son was working on a project that meant everything to him. A deadline was looming. Suddenly, his screen froze, a mechanical failure in his equipment, something small, something physical. He was frantic. He was searching for solutions online, but the internet couldn't reach into the machine to turn a screw. He was ready to give up. He looked at that expensive, high-tech device like it was a piece of junk. I sat down beside him. I didn't know the code. I didn't know the software. But I knew how metal moves. I knew how tension works. I took out my old magnifying glass and a steady pair of pliers. I didn't rush. I listened. I felt for the friction. My son watched me, his breath held, as I did what no update could do. I applied 40 years of patience to a problem born yesterday. Click. The gear snapped back into place. The machine hummed to life. The tech was back because of the old school. In that moment, the gap closed. My son didn't see an old man who couldn't use a tablet. He saw a master who understood the foundation of all things. We realized that while the tools change, the principles do not. Quality still requires focus. Success still requires patience. And a father's wisdom isn't measured by his ability to use a computer, but by his ability to show his child how to stand firm when the world is moving too fast. If you are struggling to keep up today, remember this: the new world is built on top of the old one. Your experience isn't a burden, it's the anchor. We don't have to choose between the past and the future. We just have to remember that the heart behind the craft is the only thing that truly lasts. For those learning this language, for those trying to bridge the gap, Keep building. The world still needs your hands.